Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is me here, Mr. Truth, and in today's video, I wanted to make a video about March Madness, yes, the big dance, and make a little interesting video here picking my upsets based on seed, going from the 16 seed all the way down to the 11 seed, which is the last seed I would consider to be a pretty big upset in the NCAA tournament. So, no nonsense and no more BS. Let's get straight into it with the 16 seed that I believe can win in the NCAA tournament. And I'm talking specifically about the first round of the tournament because obviously the tournament gets harder the more you play because the level of competition is going to get better and better and better unless you're a 16 seed and you're playing a 1. But let's just, sort of put that to the side and let's get straight into the 16 seed that I believe can win in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Alright, so the 16 seed that I believe can potentially beat a 1 seed in this year's tournament is going to have to be Norfolk State. And folks, I'm not going to lie to you, this team is going to get bludgeoned, but I had to pick one. I had to pick 116 that I believe can beat a 1 this year. And Florida being the 1 seed is obviously an incredibly tough task. Florida just looks unbeatable this year. They look like a team that's going to go all the way. In my opinion, they're the favorite to win the whole tournament. But Norfolk State, the only reason I had them potentially being able to score an upset here is because they have a history doing this. And I believe it was either 2011 or 12. They defeated 2 seed Missouri as the 15 seed, and a lot of people consider that upset to be one of the biggest upsets in the history of the NCAA tournament, and at the time it was considered to be probably the biggest back then in good old whenever the fuck it was, 2011, 2012, but the only reason I'm picking Norfolk to win this game as a 16 seed, and I'm not actually picking them, I'm just saying if there was one 16 seed that had to win, it would probably be Norfolk State based off the history that they have with their program and upsetting top-ranked teams. They once again did it with Missouri back a decade or so ago, and if there was a team to do it this year to be the 16 to beat the 1, it would be Norfolk because they've done it before and they have the best record, I believe, of all the 16 seeds in the big dance this year. So the number 16 seed that I picked this season is Norfolk State. Not saying that I'm picking them to beat Florida, I'm just saying if there was one team to do it, it would be them. So on to the 15 seed now. In my opinion, the 15 seed that has the best chance of beating a 2 seed in this year's tournament is going to be Bryant. And Bryant are taking on a very, very good Michigan State team, and this is another more history could potentially be repeating itself. The 2 seed, Michigan State, facing a 15 seed, heavily, heavily favored by most people. And they lose to Bryant. Now, Bryant's not really the best 15 seed in the world. They're okay. They're like an average 15 seed. They're not going to blow you away or shock you or whatever. They're just going to play tough basketball, and they're going to get buckets when they need buckets. And if there was a 15 seed this year to beat a 2, I think it would be Bryant because Tom Izzo has lost to a 15 seed, Middle Tennessee State, in 2015 before. It's another thing where history is going to repeat itself potentially. And honestly, I'm actually trending myself towards picking Bryant over Michigan State because I really believe, I have some weird gut feeling that this shit's going to happen. That Bryant's going to shock the fucking world. No, the best upsets in tournament history are the ones that are least expected. The UMBCs over Virginia, the Farley Dickinson, over Purdue, the St. Peter's over Purdue. The upsets nobody in their right fucking mind would ever think of selecting, let alone think would be possible in the first place, man. But here we are, we're discussing Bryant potentially beating Michigan State because Michigan State, they have lost to a 15 seed before in the tournament under Tom Izzo's coaching regime. So it's possible. Is it going to happen? Probably not. But I think, honestly, a 15 seed this year is going to beat a 2 seed. You've got Omaha, who's a decent 15 seed. Robert Morris, probably the best one. But I don't know, Alabama's a really good team, and Michigan State seems to me like a team that could lose in the first round as a 2 seed. So my 15 seed to beat a 2 seed potentially this year would have to be Bryant. Alright, so we're into the 14 seeds. Now, in my opinion, the 14 seed that has the highest likelihood of beating a 3 seed this season in the big dance is going to be UNC Wilmington. And Texas Tech, don't get me wrong, they're a good team this year. Big 12 was a pretty solid conference. But something about this UNC Wilmington team, I've watched maybe 13 minutes of UNC Wilmington, but when I was watching them, they played really good basketball, and they seem solid. They seem like a team that could make a Cinderella run in the NCAA tournament, and Texas Tech, to me, I don't know, I'm sniffing out some bullshit. I smell a bit of bullshit coming from fucking Texas Tech is what I'm trying to say, and I'm not buying into the hype whatsoever of Texas Tech making a potential deep NCAA tournament run. I would place my money on UNC Wilmington to pull off an upset. There's a couple of other decent 14 seeds this year, but I think UNC Wilmington overall in general is probably the best 14 seed, and once again, if I was a gambling man, I would put my money on UNC Wilmington, and this is just like a sort of a vibes pick. I don't have any rhyme or reason, or there's no history here. It's just, I don't think Texas Tech is going to make it that far in the tournament, and I think UNC Wilmington's a pretty good mid-major program that can pull off an upset in March, and I think they're going to do it. I'm actually picking them to beat Texas Tech, so this is like an honest from the heart. I think this is going to happen. Genuine, honest pick. So my 14 seed, to beat a 3 seed this year would have to be UNC Wilmington. All right, so now we're getting into some more trendy hot picks. The 13 seed that I think will potentially beat a 4 this year is going to be Grand Canyon. They've done it. I mean, they've done it before. They have upset teams in the tournament before, and they're returning a lot of senior players from their prior tournament runs. I mean, come on, they're going to do it again. I don't care if you match them up against the best team. They're going to do it again. They're a really fucking good mid-major team. This team is solid, has experienced players, has some depth, has quality for sure. If this team goes to the Sweet 16 or Elite 8, I would not be surprised whatsoever. Probably the best overall 13 seed and a very dangerous team for sure in March. And they're going to make some noise for sure. And this is another team I'm actually picking. I'm not just saying if I had to pick one. I am picking them to at least win one game in the first round, at least in the first round of the NCAA tournament. But this team, once again, if they make a deep tournament run, don't be surprised. Do not be surprised, because this team has some really solid players, has a good foundation and a lot of experience, and that translates to wins in the NCAA tournament. So my 13 seed would have to be Grand Canyon. All right, so the final 2 seeds are going to be 12 and 11, and my 12th seed that I'm picking this year to go far in March is going to be probably the trendiest one, but it's for a good reason, UC San Diego. Now, when I haven't watched a second of UC San Diego, just like the rest of, America, to be quite honest with you folks. But when I saw them, they were celebrating after they got picked on the selection show on CBS, right? And something stood out to me. And then I looked at the stats, and it sort of confirmed what, was really the belief in my mind. I saw a lot of white boys, and white boys shoot 3-pointers. And obviously 3 is bigger than 2, and good 3-point shooting mid-major teams can make tournament runs. I saw the white boys. I saw the stats, and I've seen everything I need to see. This team is going to win at least 2 games in this tournament. At least 2 games. They got 3-point shooters everywhere. And I don't know, man. It's just Michigan, they won the Big Ten, but it's going to be for no reason. They're going to lose by 20, 30 points to this team, because let me just put it this way. If they get hot early in the game against Michigan, it will be a 30, 40 point blowout. The game won't be close. Oh, but you're just overrated. No, okay? When you have white boys that shoot 3s, it's very simple. And if they make the 3s, they're going to fucking win. Tried and true formula. Get white boys, California white boys that shoot 3s, and you will win. This team is California born and bred white boys, shoot 3-pointers. They shoot like 33s a game. I guarantee you they're going to make 16, 17 of them against Michigan, and they're going to easily beat Michigan, and it won't even be fucking close. That's my 12th seed upset pick, UC San Diego. All right, final team, the 11th seed, and a lot of people are going to say, well, I mean, it's got to be Drake. Has to be Drake, because they're going to be the trendiest upset pick in the tournament out of all 11 seeds. Out of all seeds, point blank, period. But the 11th seed I'm picking is VCU. I'm picking VCU because I feel like Drake have played cream puffs. They haven't fucking played anyone. I feel like the A-10 is a far better conference than Missouri Valley. Missouri Valley is full of cream puffs. Oh, but Bradley's good. Bradley's a cream puff as well. If you put Bradley in the tournament, they would lose by 50 to a good team. And A-10, I feel like, has better, more quality teams that, are better and more well-rounded. So that's the main reason for me picking VCU, because, you know, they won their tournament, they look good, they have a good record, they beat teams that have a life, that breathe air, and they beat a couple tournament teams. They just beat more quality teams than Drake. And, oh, well, no, Drake, they beat Miami, and okay, well, VCU beat Miami as well. I believe VCU played Miami, and they fucking kicked the shit out of them. And Miami sucked this year, so don't fucking go, oh, they beat a power conference program. Those teams that, like, don't count. Those are cream puff teams. VCU have played more quality opponents, in my opinion, and have a better chance, at least. I think Drake is going to lose. I thought Drake was going to win, but then I have a gut feeling that they're going to fucking lose, get the shit kicked out of them by Missouri. So VCU would be my upset pick for 11 seeds in the big dance this year, and that's it. That's the end of this video, folks. Hopefully it was entertaining. You guys doing something new on the Mr. Truth YouTube page. But thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Truth, and this was nothing but the truth.